best car, SUV, or truck, guess what? You're in luck. Frontier Motors is down the street. Got the best deals that can't be beat. Don't overpay, come in today. Doing business the old-fashioned way. Frontier, we've got the right price. Frontier, we'll treat you mighty nice. Frontier Motors, low overhead country.
Yes, indeed. Couldn't have sung it better myself. In fact, he won't let me sing it, I'm sorry to say. But that's okay. We have got the owners of that fine establishment, Low Overhead Country at 230 Beverly Parkway. Specifically, Ron Schneider and Ivan Struckel have joined us here in the studio, ready to take your questions on cars, trucks, or SUVs that you might want to buy, sell, or trade. Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, Don. Thank you so much for the introduction. We do want to let everybody out there know what we're really doing right now. And for those of you that are listening to us in your car, this is WCOA Radio. And for those of you that are watching us on TV right now, you can't call in. It's not a TV call-in show. It is a radio call-in show. The radio number is 478-3116. 478-3116. And what we do on the show is we help you with the value of your car. If you are driving down the road and you're thinking, hey, maybe I want to get rid of this old jalopy and buy something new, what should this car be worth? And what you do at that point is you bring it over to Frontier Motors at 230 Beverly Parkway, or you call us here on the radio show by dialing 478-3116, and we can help you out with the value of your car. We have the NADA guides right here that you can see. These are not the same guides that you get on the internet. These are a little bit different because these are the ones that the credit unions, and these are the ones that the banks use in our area. So they're very important, especially if your car gets totaled. The other guides we have is the black wholesale guidebooks. These are those secret books that go underneath the drawer that you're not supposed to see. And the reason these are important is because this is what a dealership might appraise your car for. And tell you what, these are cool little books because they come out.
That sounds important.
It's very important. Right? Let me tell you how important it is. Yesterday I had a customer come in, Ron, and he said, I'm going to buy me a brand new... I'm not going to name the manufacturer because
come on.
I don't want to get mad at us, okay? But it was a dealership down in Car City. Right. He was going to buy a brand new vehicle. And even though I would try to... he brought me his car to trade it. He says, I heard your radio show. He says, I want a free appraisal. So I appraised his car. He pulled it up. It was a beautiful minivan. And he bought a brand spanking new. He had one minor fender bender with it. He said it was only about $1,500, so it showed up on the history report. I said, no big deal. I'll still give you a buy figure. So I gave him a buy figure in writing. So I said, go back to the dealership and don't tell them what the buy figure is. Go make your best possible deal and then throw the keys to your van to them and say, what will you give me for the van? About 2 hours later, he was on my doorstep with his brand new minivan.
Right.
And his used minivan. And I wrote him a check for his minivan. He was all happy and congratulated. He says, I love you guys. You're the best ever. And then I asked him before I left, I said, let me ask you a question. What did they give you for your minivan?
Right.
It was $3,000 less. And I'm not talking $300. This is obnoxious. And I thought, I know I paid a little bit more. I thought I paid maybe $500 more because I really wanted it because it's a one owner. And that classification of whatever that van is, I'm not going to mention the name again, is that we didn't have any like that in stock. But can you imagine that used car manager did not want that van at all on his lot? And you know, the funny thing is, Ron, it was the same type of van that the guy was buying. So it wasn't like sometimes, you know, if you trade in a Ford on a Acura, you can get a low appraisal because they're not going to want you Ford. This was the same type of vehicle if you were, for example, trading an Acura for an Acura. You'd think they'd won the $3,000 difference.
Well, it's a great point what you're bringing in. If the people watching are listening very close, because we talk pretty fast. We talk very fast. Or the people on the radio listening, what Ivan was saying, he paid a little bit more for a nicer one-owner vehicle. Now, we've had a lot of customers come in, and they'll sit down with us, not a lot, a few, and they'll say, well, you know, there's another one down the road that's $800 cheaper, or there's another one in Orlando, or there's another one in Texas, and it's $1,100 cheaper. But we're the kind of dealer that will pay just a little bit more for a super nice car, and we'll sit down and explain it to you. So that if you come to our lot, we're not saying we have the highest prices. We believe we still have the lowest prices because if we can buy a good quality car off of the street or from you, a person going to buy, like this particular person did, going to buy a new car, then what we can do is we've kept our overhead down. And everybody knows if they visited Frontier Motors, and if you haven't, you can go to our website at frontiermotorsinc.com. And notice we have a smaller, non-flashy, no mirrored glass kind of building. And it's the difference between, we have to have profit. It's the difference between how we buy that vehicle, just like Ivan said, and by the, we got to mark it up, we got to make some profit, but it's what the difference is in between. So we don't have that huge overhead. We don't have the 105 employees behind the building. We don't have the everything. We're not holding up in some cases, in new car dealerships, Ivan and I ran them, you're holding up the body shop, you're holding up the parts department, you're holding up the service department, you're trying to do all this, so all of that kind of gets put together. So what we've been able to accomplish is buying good quality cars. Yeah, maybe paying a little bit more for a good quality car. You know why? No problems with the car. Great reputation.
Ron, another thing to look at, and this is very interesting, is when you look at the values of cars, and anybody right now can get on the internet, and you'll see one car that's always going to be less expensive than another car. And there's a spread. Here's a prime example. An 03, I'm going to pick on Lexus for a second. Okay. An 04 Lexus GX 470 has a clean wholesale value of $21,900. Okay. Has a rough wholesale value of $15,400.
What kind of swing is that?
$7,000 spread. Now, these are both 04s. They can have the same miles on it, but there's a difference between rough and clean of $7,000. So when you get on the internet, that's why the prices are everywhere, because people will pay a lot more for a really, really super nice one than a rough one that's been beat up and scratched up and the oil hasn't been changed and the tires are halfway bald.
Yeah, we were talking about that, Greg and I were talking about that this morning, our internet guy, and our internet guru. And we were talking about it, that when people see these things on the internet, that yeah, he's such a guru. I can't figure out. He talks in other languages, but to see these cars and to do it, and we do a market report, but we can't tell what that car is. You know, we had a customer that bought a car from us before, came in and was negotiating on one of our Lexus. He says, "They got one in Dallas cheaper." I said, "Well, I know they do. I mean, we know that, but." And I did this. I pulled that Manheim market report. The same thing you're talking about on this block. Manheim is the largest auto auctions in the United States. They say they're the largest in the world, but we don't buy cars in Europe. But they have that same swing. They have cars that go all the way down, and it has about a 7,000 swing. And in an ES350, there's only such thing as an ES350. There's not anything really that you can change, a sport, a package, any of these things that you can do. But there's a $7,000 swing. So, and you know why? Condition. Ivan just mentioned that. The reason between clean book, and actually, in the black book, there's called an extra clean. There's a $7,000 swing. So be cautious out there. This show is brought to you so that the gurus of the used car business can talk to everybody and answer questions. If you're out there in Radio Land, 478-3116. If you're out in TV Land, dial our number over at the lot. It's 850-436-8080. It runs across the screen there. We're gurus. Motor Trend Magazine. Consumer reports, best and worst.
Best and worst. We got consumer
ratings.
Reports, the ratings and the prices of every car out there. And then we also have with us the new car cost guide. The new car cost guide is important in case you want to look up how much is that dealer paying for that brand new car.
Yeah, we're gurus. I come in about 8:30, and at 6 o'clock I go home. But I can tell you that we're breathing, talking, thinking used cars. So use our services; they're absolutely free. We're the only ones, I think, that advertise that our services are free at a car lot. But call us 478-3116 if you want to join us on a show. Or look, you don't have to dial it right now. Just remember that 436-8080 is a place that you can always get an opinion. I had a lady come in today, Ivan, real quick, buying a car. $17,000 car, books out in the NADA, $8,000. Why? They told her it was a car that had been involved in an accident. The insurance company had totaled it. It is being marketed as a rebuilt car.
Wow.
Buying it for $8,000.
Not a bad deal.
Is it a good buy? I told her it's a terrific buy, except get it inspected. I said, there's a guy in town. I mean, I know that there's other people in town that listen to the radio, and there's a lot of good service departments, and we use them, Automotive Alternatives, KC on site. I said, for $99, take it to Bobby Likas. Tell them it's a rebuilt car. Mm-hmm. Ask them if there's going to be any problems in the future, and then it's a good buy. It's not a good buy if they won't, number one, won't let you take it. Yeah, number one. And I said, number two, whoever is selling it to you, will they at least give you a 30-day, 1,000-mile assurance that if something major goes wrong with that car, that they'll take care of it. You know what she said right away? Nope, they won't do that.
That's good advice, Ron.
Yeah,
That's really good advice. And one of the, Ron talked about the services that we offer. And one of the big services that we offer is we'll do an inspection for the car from you. We have a paint meter. It costs us almost $900. And what we can do is put the paint meter on the car, and it'll tell us the car's ever been repainted. Now, that's not a big deal. What if somebody keyed the car and got repainted? It doesn't make the car worthless, but it'll give us an indication. Check a little bit further if you have a lot of paint work on the car. The other service that we can offer is we can offer you the main thing I think we're really good at is that free appraisal service. Ron, when we left, a lady was there with her Jeep Liberty saying, I want to know if you would appraise my Jeep Liberty. And one of the reasons is because she just wanted to sell it. She wasn't really interested in buying a car, just like the gentleman with that minivan. He wasn't interested in buying a vehicle from me. And he said, I'm going to buy a brand new one. You're not going to talk me out of it. I said, it's fine. I'm here to do the free appraisal.